Hey everybody, it's Chris Loud. Today I have an abstract mixed media painting demo where I utilize an old espresso drip grill and spray paint for the finishing touches to tie 3 paintings in a practice series together. As I was playing with the 3 pieces for a possible series, I decided they were actually kind of quite boring and didn't have the energy I wanted to have, so I started looking around my studio for something to liven them up, and that's where experimenting and playing with spray paint and that espresso drip grill came in, but we'll get to that here shortly. I'm just going to show you a demo for one of the paintings, but I'll show you all 3 in different orientations at the end. I did one 8x10 in my sketchbook on watercolor paper, which is the demo I'm showing, and the other 2 on 6x6 inch or 15x15 centimeter canvas panels. So I started the first layer with crimson, then did a mix of light violet and white for the second layer. The idea for this was basically a 3-layer minimalist abstract with black brush strokes as the feature and a neutral color for the negative space around the black, with a little of the first 2 layers peeking through, which overall kind of worked, but I wanted a little more. So the neutral color is a mix of crimson and light violet mixed with a little black and white to gray it out. So that's what you're seeing right now, is getting some of that negative space around the black shapes that I have on there at the moment. I want to give a quick thank you to Kathy, Bridget, Carrie, and Mandy for supporting the channel with a super thanks donation on the last painting video. It's much appreciated, so thank you all. I'm adding some black here just to try and enhance the look that I have going. I wasn't really feeling much with this one. I did like the black shape there, but it again was kind of bland to me. So I kept kind of playing with adding a little white and rubbing that in and seeing what I could do with this. So the colors were crimson, light violet, Mars black, titanium white, and at the end, I use a little bit of violet and magenta to work that in as well. And again, looking at that I actually like that, but I was hoping for just a little more energy with it. So for those of you that watch some of my videos, that I have a hard time stopping, and I like to keep playing and trying new things. So that's what I continued to do with this. So I did play with this one a little bit after I stopped recording. So I'll show you the final painting in different orientations along with the other 2 in the series, which I think I actually like those 2 better than this one. So here's where I went outside, got this old espresso drip grill from espresso maker, an inexpensive espresso maker I had a while ago, and I just hung on to this because I thought it looked cool and might be a good stencil someday. So covered the rest of the painting up and just laid it down and put some black spray paint on it, and used this with white spray paint on the other 2. And then decided I liked the look of that, so I went ahead and put it on this one again in another spot. And you can see I have a little stencil there that's a stencil I made with a hot glue gun. I'll have to make a video on doing that. That was actually a lot of fun. But you can see as soon as I pull this off, it really kind of adds something to this painting. And looking at it, I really liked the look of what that stencil gave me, so I wanted to try and get a little bit more of that down in another part of the painting to try and tie that together and have a little harmony with that white paint from the stencil. So that's where I'm just laying that right down without covering anything else, and getting that white spray paint on there. So I'll show you what it looks like back in the studio, and just decided I needed to get some of that black paint back down and establish some of the shape that I had on there before. So at this point, I'm just kind of feeling my way through this. I like where this took me, just not sure what I was going to do next with it. So I just started looking for areas that I wanted to play with. So aside from the espresso grill that I used as a stencil and the spray paint, I also used a little bit of striped tissue paper on each one of these paintings. So I'll bring that in here shortly as well. I was writing in my morning pages about experimenting with different tools and mediums when I paint, especially with warm-up paintings. Does anyone else do morning pages? I started doing them after reading The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And of all the helpful things in that book, writing 3 morning pages has been one of the most helpful to me. If you haven't read that, I recommend it. I don't subscribe to everything in the book and follow everything in the book, but I think it's one of the most helpful books I've read to improve my creativity. I'll leave a link in the description so you can check it out if you're interested, but my guess is your local bookstore library might have a copy or two of that. So, but definitely check it out. It's a, again, I'd been kind of thinking about experimenting, so this kind of worked out for me. So actually, what's the most unique tool or stencil or medium you've used to make art with? Let me know in the comments. I'd be really curious to see how everyone answers that. Also, I get a question on YouTube and Instagram about where to sell paintings online. So I want to open that up to everyone. If anyone has success stories, best practices, or just good places to sell art online, and you don't mind sharing with the group, we'd love to hear your feedback in the comments. As I said in the last video, I'm not very aggressive in trying to sell my paintings online, but like these 3 practice paintings in this video, I've put them on Etsy because I find it's an easy system to use. I'll put a link in the description if you want to see how I do my Etsy shop. I typically just put my warm-up and practice paintings there. But yeah, I'd love to hear from everyone and see if anyone has any best practices there. So if you like this video, feel free to hit the like button. If you're new to this channel, feel free to subscribe. If you want to see more videos like this and tutorials. But I have the final painting coming up here, and you can see this is what it looked like, and this is what I changed it to. I add a little bit of that light violet and painted out some of those spaces. So different orientations here, and then these are the other paintings. You can see very similar style, a little bit smaller size, and different orientations. I used a different color scheme in each of these. And it's kind of funny because the 2 white dots there are part of the stencil, or that grill, and they look like eyes in a lot of these. So let me know what you think, and thanks for watching, and keep on painting.